that we as a society need to be conscious of how disconnected we have become, that people that are next to us and around us, we don't even know. How is it that these two children walk into the school, they every single day, we're in different classes, in every class they pass a list. They know if you're present or if you're absent. Did that matter? No, because teachers and students didn't actually see. I'm going to talk about these two kids in particular, their situation, what they were going through. They were not being vocal, but I am positively sure, because I've seen stuff like that before, that their presence alone can emanate some type of, there's something wrong with this child. But even though when we see something wrong, we don't, as I'm putting myself in there too, sometimes we don't react to it. We have become immune, sort of like, kind of like surface kind of people, like we don't really sympathize, and we need that. We need to be more connected as a society to everyone, because we have far too many issues that are going on now in our society, in this day to day, way too many issues, and every single issue that is risen or that rises up is about division. Right now, the president himself decided that this was more like a mental health issue, and so we have to have more guns because we have to control those that are mental. That's not true. That's a lie of the devil. I know I said I was Christian before, but I'm just saying that's not true, because statistically speaking, and I heard this before, more mental ill people, children, adults, are the ones that suffer more. They are not the aggressor, they are being the victims most of the time. If a person that has mental health issues gets out of hand, it's because those that are around him are unable to help. So, going back to the question, how much do you think mental health plays a part? I think it plays some part, it doesn't play all the part in the shootings. It plays some part because depression can be a mental condition, as well as a condition of the spirit and the soul. But it's true. If you're not healthy inside, you can be healthy outside.
Yeah.
But and also, what I do think that plays a bigger part is the lack of love. We not caring about each other. I'm not talking only about the parents and the friends too. When I was in school, I was a quiet child, but I felt every single thing that a person told me, and I took it home with me. And I took it home with me, and it hurt me, and it caused me to have some self-esteem issues. And therefore, that's why you have the popular kid, the kid that is not popular, the kid that they push to the side. If you see a child or a student that looks awkward, cannot really communicate, don't pick on them, but help them out. Be a source of help, be a point of light. And mental health does play a little bit, but it's not as much as the guns. You know what I mean? Like, having access to the guns, to me, that's still by far the biggest issue. And having the president say, give more guns to people, like my husband was saying, that could potentially be not qualified for it, is not the solution. More guns equals more death. That's to me. Mm-hmm. More guns equals more aggression. Why? Because if somebody makes you mad and you have a bad attitude, you're going to pull out your gun on them, and the other person's going to be like, you pulling your gun on me, I'm going to pull out my gun too. What is that going to be? We are with that kind of coming from the president, it really, well, it doesn't shock me because I don't agree with anything that he says at all, but coming from him being the head of the United States, one of the most powerful nations in the country, in the world, one of the most powerful nations in the world, and he said something like that, that's a lack of love, mm-hmm. and a lack of understanding, and you're not in our shoes. This is why you get to make that choice, because nobody's going to go to you or to your child or to your wife because you are protected. You know what I mean? You have what do they call it? The securities,
Secret Services?
Secret services around you at all times. So of course you're gonna make that choice. And you saying that you feel for us and that you're with us and that you're with the parents, I call BS on that. Why? Because if you did feel that, you wouldn't say more guns. You will say, let's come to a solution that we can both meet, where I can listen to the children that have suffered and the parents that lost their children, and it should be a bipartisan issue. It shouldn't be an issue of discussion. It should be an issue of discussion, but it shouldn't be an issue that pulls one way or the other. It should be a common issue. It's a humanitarian issue. It's a survival issue. We need to stay alive. That's what I have to say. I'm sorry.
Judy. Jeremy.
Like, mental issue, how much mental issue play in both these? Yeah, I got the gist of it. I think, like Judy says, if we were to go to by percentage, it's like 10 or 20% maximum. Why? Say me and you, I'm having a bad day. Let's say I am an aggressive person. But guess what? We're in a room by ourselves. I lose it. I'm going to try to hit you. You're going to hit me back. Now, I'm the same person, same scenario, but now I have a gun. That's what changed.
Yeah.
The gun changed scenario. No weapon, what's the problem? The problem will still be there, yes, because there will be people that have a bad day, but it's the access to things that bring the problem. See, there's always going to be health issues. There's always going to be mental issues. And when they say mental issues, trust me, they throw that very lightly out in the air.
Yeah.
Because, like they said, children with, there are children with a whole spectrum of disorders and problems that they struggle with. And they're usually not aggressive. They're calm, they're friendly, they're trying to make friends in a world that people like, you're not normal. And they still aren't bad. Bad is what you choose to do. So we have a term that we use called a person in crisis. Person in crisis will have a mental issue at that moment. Example, I'm having a horrible day. I'm usually a very pleasant and kind individual. And let's say I lost my job, my wife broke up with me, something just broke me out of the norm. Now my normal life is in a crisis, and so far now I am behaving the same way. I am in a crisis, and I become a person in crisis. I may flip the table. Now what's the difference now between that and the kid? Maybe at that moment, maybe me as an individual, I may have a little more self-control. Maybe flipping the table and punching a wall will be it. But if I'm having a bad month, a bad week, a bad year, maybe my reaction is worse. And then guess what? Now I have access to a gun. That's why there's sometimes people get stabbed and it's in the news. One person stabbed the other person. And what they always say, I never knew that guy was violent. Because he wasn't violent. He had a moment.
He had a violent moment.
He had a violent moment, and then his mental state was jeopardized. And he or she could not regain control, and they made a big, big mistake. The difference is, which doesn't demean the value of human life, the difference is with a knife, I have to go and physically go to you. With an assault rifle, I can stand as many feet as I want and spray and take everyone and everything, because when you're upset, when the mental state of every mental state of these individuals is a mental state of despair. They're like, zip, I'm going to bang. Because nobody paid attention to me, now everyone's going to pay attention to me.
Yeah.
That's why in some places, in some countries, they don't even mention the name of individuals that do this. They say don't mention their name, because then the next person that listens to that will be like, did you notice how many times they mentioned their name? They're going to mention my name. So yes, I say it does play, but let's not force it. Let's not play a big issue, because there are a whole list of mental health issues that people have, and it does not make them the main concern. Spreading stuff like that is what's going to make a kid that has Tourette's all of a sudden become the object of fear. Because, I don't know if you know, when you have Tourette's, you can't control what you say. And sometimes you just curse out a whole story. But then, you're a sweet kid, but you're just, that's your twitch. So then now I'm like, oh, there you go. He's gonna have a gun. He's gonna, no, let's not do that, because that's bad propaganda.
Making it
That's bad propaganda.
Yes.
Thank you.
Guns. They're just trying to, I feel like they're just trying to like swerve it around, like pass the buck. I tripped. Oh, well, it's not my fault I tripped. It's Emilio's fault because he made these shoes and I tripped because of, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You are letting guns
Shift the focus.
being access to anyone,
Yeah.
and that's me. Don't blame it on the condition.
That's right.
I'm done.
Well,
TV
bipolar.
Mm.
I have a cousin that's bipolar, and I'm gonna go closer to home to me.
Mhm.
My nephew has autism,
Mhm.
and my sister, before she went a little bit mental, made sure that he used his words, because if you notice kids with autism, they need things in order. They need organization. If not, they tend to shut down. It's not completely mental.
Mhm.
What bipolar, it's bipolar, schizophrenia. It's just an excuse. You know, can mental illness shield a vendetta? I don't know. I don't think so. Can mental illness, you know, shield how you really feel about a person? Can it? No. It won't, because how you feel is how you feel is how you feel. You can't fool nobody.
Mhm.
The percentages is small, but it's for a person to go crazy like this, it's not just some overnight thing, it's a process. It is a process that happens over time. You break down, you wear it down. I can tell you because I've been there. I ain't need no gun. I don't want to use a gun. Don't give a blind person a gun.
Mhm.
No. But I've been there. It's not mental health.
Mhm.
And we have President Orange Head there, who is nothing more than a 70-something-year-old man-child.
Mhm.
A leader. Yeah, he is. A leader will not respond to just everything. A leader uses wisdom.
Mhm.
And all of this stuff that he's been saying has been so stupid and so tone deaf. Tone deaf. Look, I go to college. I go to Brooklyn College, and I went to Kingsborough, where they don't check your ID every day. It's just random. So I could walk in with an assault rifle and just Why?
Very true.
And here's the thing. The college school safety, they're allowed to carry guns. They have
They
guns. They're armed. They have a taser and they have a gun. But they don't check every day. Yep. They don't check every day. So it's not just mental health. It's like Columbine, he was picked on.
Mm-hmm.
He was picked, and you know how what that does?
In an outcast.
Oh yeah. Because you wanna know why? He was different,
Mhm.
okay?
It's not right.
Because you're different.
I'm different.
Because I know I'm different. Because you're different doesn't give people the right to pick on you the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and after a while, people will get mad. But not only that, again, the parents of this young fellow from the Columbine, they didn't check on him enough
Mhm.
to see what's going on, why you look this way, why are you acting this way, how can me as a parent help you? Because honestly, kids aren't, we all were kids. Some of us still sort of a kid.
It doesn't move me.
No, I say this because have you ever told your mom everything? Hasn't she had to troll every once in a while to see if there's something wrong with Hennessy's?
Figures it out most of the time.
Yeah. I always say parents, like my mom, she would know something's up with her
Parents have
mom.
superpowers.
Yeah, are you biomechanical?
I think so.
And we all were kids. We all were afraid of telling our parents certain things because in an old Spanish household, certain things didn't go.
Black household too.
You know?